Make money with ideas. Chapter 1. Ideas Guide. Create a superstar product or service. Creativity is the key to man's destiny. If you fail to plan to fail. If you believe in your idea, don't hold back and don't listen to the naysayers. Bring in partners if it gets you quick investment money. The only way to be a winner in life is to do exactly what you want, the way you want to do it in such a way that other people will line up to pay you for your product or service, whatever it may be. I believe every one of us has some manner of this gift within themselves. You just have to find it, work hard at it and believe in yourself when nobody else does. The way to get rich is to find a problem that needs to be solved and solve it. Find a need and fill it. You either have to be first, best, different, novel, or a combination of all these elements. The beauty of life, in my view, is that just about all of us have a talent, predisposition, or skill that we love to do that comes easy to us but not for others, so we have the option of channeling these gifts into meaningful pursuits for the good of the world and earn our keep in the process. Do what you love that has some value to some people and make enough money to cover your bills from it. If you don't feel you have natural talents, you can create them via hard work like everybody else does, even if they have natural talents. It really is 99% perspiration, 1% inspiration, but the trick is to love it when you sweat. Capitalism is a good system, to find your natural talents that somehow fill a need in society, pursue them to make you feel good, help people in the process and get rich off it. Thank God for the freedom of capitalism. This is as good as it gets. In Proverbs 11:25 they say, help others and you will be helped. This is the golden rule in business. Help other people and they will give you the money to go off and do whatever you want in your search for your vision of Eden. Selfishness is an illusory concept because many people who act out of self-interest are necessarily working their butts off to be useful to other people so that they can get rich and satisfy their selfish motives. It's a fine concept and probably the greatest motivator of all, the selfishness to live your life your way so you bust your butt doing things you love anyway that others will appreciate and pay for. Creative types typically exchange security for freedom while normals exchange freedom for security. Virtually all of us want both. Every job, regardless of how interesting, gets boring if done in a daily routine. The only solution I know of to find true, total freedom other than winning the lottery or getting an inheritance is to come up with a concept or product that's so unique, superior, and good that people want it, then sell 1 million or so copies and you're all set. I've come to the realization that money is the ultimate instrument of freedom, thus, if you don't have much but are a creative free spirit, life becomes a circle of inspiration followed by concern with trivial matters of money followed by another cycle of inspiration followed by other material, trivial concerns, and that's the way it goes until the day you hope you hit the motherlode, the big score so to speak. You become financially free to live out the rest of your life in peace. The creative American dream is to do what you love to fill a need that helps people and get rich in the process. Be smart, use your head, come up with something, sell it to a major distributor, make your fortune, then leave the dull, boring day-to-day grind of the real world behind and get to the real business of living a great life. Competition is fierce but nothing can stop a great idea whose time has come. We all have great minds if we choose to use them. One great idea can net anyone a great fortune without doing much work because you simply sell off the rights or license them to a manufacturer who does the business end and pays you a commission, thus alleviating the hassles of running a business. Most people are too lazy to expend even minimal effort to try for something original. They'd rather work a regular job and be left alone to watch TV and eat junk food. Simple things can make a lot of money once you get contracts with the big department stores, like the topsy-turvy inverted ponytail gadget or a little girl who came up with a little dish that you hang bacon on to cook, got it patented, then sold it to the major chains. A couple of postal workers put a battery into lollipops which made them spin around as you licked them, ended up selling 60 million and got rich in the process. Another girl came up with cool colors for nail polish, made a splash, then all the big cosmetics firms stole her idea. People never tire of buying useless things to give themselves some kind of momentary thrill. Look at the trivial homemaker/decor need of women who like to putter around in their homes. You have to find one concept that means something to people and pursue it with a vengeance, with a twist of originality to it, not necessarily radical but good and efficient, and offer it for cheaper than anyone else does. There are trade shows in the Far East all the time which advertise many novel and new products they create that no one has ever seen in America. If a motivated person were to go there, sign licensing deals with a few of these inventors/companies, come over here and sell them to major retailers, he could clean up. This is not my cup of tea, but it might work for someone else. The beauty of a modern Western country is that anybody has a shot at getting rich by filling the incessant need for new consumer goods, novelties, and gadgets. Find your own niche and go for it. Freedom is the highest ideal. If you make enough money, you can live off the interest. If you invent a new product and put it on the market, start on the next version right away, otherwise someone will eat away into your market share. The best product to sell is something that is scarce, either because it's protected by patent or copyright. It's hard to make, it requires a skill that not too many people have. It requires a significant initial investment to make it, so very few people get into this business. Very few substitute or similar products on the market. Easy to get the base parts from suppliers. Buyers want it. If you're interested, go to the hashtag 346.73, legal books, and hashtag 608-609 of the library for books about inventing. Create great ideas. 1. The guys who came up with the search engine Google did it because the search engines of the time only spewed out random lists of websites that contain the search terms. They didn't have a qualitative ranking of the best few websites in any area, so these guys created a search engine that gave the searcher the top several websites in any field and became billionaires in the process. One idea that doesn't seem great, visionary, or mind-boggling netted these guys incredible fortunes. Ideas are a dime a dozen unless you do the hard work it takes to make them real. Find ideas wherever they are. Some come as a result of a logical hunt for them. Some come spontaneously, seemingly out of nowhere, but from some subconscious place in your mind called the incubation process. To generate new ideas, you have to keep yourself inspired about your life by constantly learning new things. Some ways to do this are as follows. Go to the library. Read new books. Look through different magazines. Cruise random websites. Get away from your regular routine to do other things. Meet different people. Without prying, try to get a read on what they're into. Some people will gladly tell you their life stories. Some won't. Travel to different areas in your neck of the woods and look around. Go to different public events, a play, a hockey game, a Hindu ceremony, a concert, museum, bingo night, minority-owned restaurant, etc. Listen and watch media you don't usually bother with. Go to different restaurants and different stores. Try new hobbies and sports. Watch the news in different countries. Watch travel shows. Look at the different magazines at the library. Go to the children's section. Look through their magazines. Find some business-thinking intellectuals and discuss ideas to make money with them. A lot of people love to talk about ways to make money. It seems as though everybody has an untested million-dollar idea in their minds. Change your perspective any way you can. It isn't the billions of ideas that pop up in the minds of people around the globe that make money. Very few ideas are worth the time it took for the thought. Most ideas are fleeting sparks that go no place and are forgotten before the next day. Of the ideas that are good, few are followed up and ever end up as a worthwhile development in the marketplace. Most people are just not oriented to do anything about their ideas, while others believe it would take too much of their time and money to follow through to completion. This leaves the marketplace wide open for the ideas maestro. There are 3 major formats you can use to create profitable ideas. 1. Find something that already exists but nobody has realized its use before. 2. Invent something. Most inventions are merely new arrangements of things that have already been invented. 3. Alter or improve something that already exists in any number of different ways. As you create ideas, write them down. What you dream up can be your key to great wealth. Keep your mind open as you go through each day. What did you notice in the department store that would reduce costs, save money, or increase sales if some simple procedure were added or something changed? Ideas for improvements are one of the most valuable things you can contribute to society and at the same time add to your bank account. To create ideas for improvements, consider every possibility and alternative for the thing you want to improve. Ask yourself, is your idea workable and potentially useful to somebody, preferably the mainstream population, although products for one demographic group could be extremely profitable, like a vanity product for women, something for seniors, or a product for a certain group of disabled people. Learn to create ideas by evaluating all the different aspects of the product, method, or concept you are interested in. Put your imagination and subconscious to work and write down your thoughts pertaining to each of the things you expect to improve. Do not judge the good or bad points of the ideas as they materialize to you, just write them down and judge them afterwards. You will stop the flow of ideas if you are critical of your thoughts before you put them on paper. When you have answered everything you can about the product or concept and know how it fits in with your plans, sit down and evaluate all the details you have written. After you have found, created, a good idea, follow it up with questions on what should be your next move in order to do something about it, then act. Get it moving. Expose it to the world with sufficient tests to determine the value. Come up with ideas that are still in the processing stage rather than get stuck on several vague points that may be worked out later as your subconscious goes to work. If your idea fails, so what? You are just that much closer to finalizing another one than another until a useful, more valuable idea is born. Every manufacturing plant, retailer, attorney, accountant, every business person, large or small, cannot continue to operate in the competitive world of today without someone in the organization constantly coming up with new and better ideas. Old ideas drop by the wayside as new ideas take their place. Old companies without new ideas fade away. Those who learn and know how to create ideas and anticipate the changes needed, as the future evolves, have the opportunity to be a great success with big money-making potential. Another tool you can use to help dream up that million-dollar idea is to spend several minutes each evening relaxed with your eyes closed. Pick any object that comes to mind and try to change it in your mind's eye. Change it in every manner you can think of to improve it. The following evening, pick another subject or object and repeat the process. A good way to spark ideas is to go through the classified and want ads in the newspaper and the yellow pages of your telephone directory. As you read, think of something that would be of value to the company or person or enhance the item you are reading about. In summary, learn to develop ideas from observing everyday things and details. Think of what could make something better. Dwell on things that have a large marketing audience, something that everyone needs and wants. Write your ideas down. Put a pencil and pad at your nightstand. When you remember a good dream, don't just lay there, by morning you will forget it. Jot it down on the pad. You will be surprised what you can dream up. Maybe the million-dollar idea will magically appear on your pad tomorrow morning. Create great ideas too. After you find your one good idea, investigate the ways you can make money off it. Start small, make a plan, get organized, get out into the business world, sell and enjoy the process. Be nice to the people you deal with. Aim to please, not to impress. Take risks. Every true success in life risks something, probably lost a number of times before hitting his or her pot of gold, whatever it may be. Do what you do best. It's that simple. You just have to find the right idea that makes what you do best useful to others and profitable to you. Dreaming is great. I've generated at least 100 possible money-making ideas over my lifetime so far, but I'm too lazy and free-spirited to ever dedicate myself with any of them. In writing books to help other people, I get to do what I really want to do, which is to stay inspired about my life no matter what. I get to exercise my creativity and intellect just like I exercise my body, but I don't have the tedium that goes with running any type of business. This is what works for me. If you have an idea you feel strongly about, then move on to the next step and see how enthusiastic you are about getting a business plan down on paper. After that, start a business. Keep it legal. Follow the laws. Go slowly. Be as frugal as you can. At the beginning, trade off some of what you do with others for things you need that they have and are willing to trade with you. Keep a professional demeanor. Be courteous. Try to get the word out about who you are and what you do. It's all about customers. Sell or die. You must become a salesman regardless of how much of an introverted genius you are tinkering away in the back room. Edison and Ford had to become consummate salesmen and hire good ones too. You're no different unless you can make enough money or partner up with a front man who will leave you in the back room doing what you like. Do good work. Develop your reputation and repeat customers based on what you do. Deliver what you promise and a bit more. Surround yourself with good workers. When you screw up or something goes wrong, take it all in stride. Always look for new ideas to run a better business. Learn from your competitors. Run a business from inner discipline. Don't be arrogant. Don't whine. Be a helper. Constantly learn about life. Don't focus on beating the competition. Just focus on being the best you can ge for you. Do things wisely, not just for the sake of being busy. Be smart about your business. Look for new markets. The ultimate goal is to enjoy your life. Don't expect a simple walk on the yellow brick road. Be ready for doubt, insecurity, and self-sabotage, converting your depression/uninspiration into procrastination in order to fail so you won't have to deal with it anymore. This is standard fare for all new business owners. You can't make it without people. You need partners, employees, customers, colleagues, suppliers, etc. Your ability to get along with people is as important as the quality and usefulness of your product. Invest in your business relationships. Do enough to stay stimulated but not so much that you lose your joy of life. Withdraw from family and friends and burn out. Work hard and enjoy the journey. Create great ideas. 3. You must select your market. Once you have analyzed yourself, you will want to sell to people who have interests similar to your own. Only then will you be comfortable in your business. You must thoroughly analyze your market. Before you ever select a product, you should know what your market is buying, what it would like to buy, if available, and what it will buy from you in the near future. Pay a visit to your local library. Go to the reference desk and ask to see the latest edition of the Writer's Market, also at number 808. Sit down and study the table of contents, which lists all the main categories of magazines currently being printed. Decide which category interests you beyond all others. It is in that market that you will be most at home, and it is there that you will be most successful. Now go back to the reference desk and ask for a periodical directory, a thick book which lists magazines and journals under different topics. Photocopy the names and address of each and every magazine in the topics you're interested in. Write to each of them on your letterhead if possible. If you don't have a letterhead, you will still hear from most of them. Tell them you are starting a business, specializing in related products, and ask them for a sample copy of their publications, along with their advertising rates. When you start receiving your sample copies, save them and save the advertising rate cards. While you are waiting for these to arrive, go to the magazine stacks at the library and look through related magazines. You are now ready to start analyzing your market. Find really good ideas that you can develop. Study the articles. They will show you what the readers are interested in, and they will give you clues as to what the readers want to buy. The magazines are doing two things. They are printing articles about subjects which the readers are already interested in, but they are also creating new interests in the minds of the readers. Can you create a product that readers will want as a result of reading those articles? Make a list of the kinds of people you would like to sell it to, for example, doctors, waitresses, farmers, gun collectors, etc. Go back and ask yourself what you could do to your product to make it appeal to each individual group. You'll be amazed at how you can turn commonplace items into red-hot sellers just by taking the time to put yourself in your customer's shoes for a while. Study your market thoroughly and never stop studying it. Most successful ideas people read dozens of magazines every month. They know what their customers are thinking about, what they need and what they will buy. Successful people are interested in the needs and wants of their customers first. They understand that if they concentrate on those, profits will flow naturally. Those who think only of profits soon pass by the wayside. Create something new and exciting. Create something useful and worthwhile. Create something you yourself would want to buy. Ideas question checklist. Consider the following points to help you generate ideas and refine ideas you already have. When I go to a newsstand, what kind of magazines appeal to me? What kind of books do I like to read? When I daydream, what do I daydream about? What do I do with my free time? How do I spend my evenings? What do I do on weekends? What do I do on my vacation? What one subject interests me more than any other subject in the world? If I didn't have to work for a living, how would I spend my time? If I could go back to college, what subjects would I take? What kind of products do I like to purchase? Product question checklist. Ask yourself the following questions about a product you've been thinking about. Why should it be improved? Who will benefit from the improvement? What is wrong with it at the present time? Did someone else cause a problem with it? How do you propose to improve it? Do you have the facilities to do the work required? Do you have the know-how to do the work required to improve it? Exactly what part needs to be improved? Should it be smaller, larger? Should the color be different? Would more activity help make it better? Could it be combined with something else to make it more practical? Would a different basic material work better? Is it too complicated? Could it be simplified? Would a substitute be more meaningful? Is it priced too high? Can the shape be changed to advantage? Can a new marketing plan make the difference? Is it safe? Can it be mass-produced to bring the unit cost down? Should the appearance be changed, streamlined? Is there an adequate guarantee? What can make it appeal to a bigger audience? Would new packaging or a trade name enhance it? Can it be made heavier, lighter, higher or lower? Can it be franchised? Is there a good maintenance program to back it up? List ways to increase production. List ways to increase sales. List ways to reduce costs. List ways to increase efficiency. List ways to improve quality and increase profits. What can be done with it to satisfy more people? Chapter 2. Ideas/offbeat ideas. Exchange ideas websites. Most forums and bulletin boards are geared for posting ideas and presumably starting a dialogue, but most of the time people post ideas and there's no discussion. Here are a few websites that are specifically geared to a back and forth exchange of ideas. a-media.org, Anti-Media. apex-ethics.com, Association for Positive Ethical Exchange. creativeideaexchange.com. ideaexchange.in. ideas-exchange.net. lifeexchange.org. livinglightly.ca/ideas-exchange. oniser.net/idea, New Idea Exchange Gaia. sfideasexchange.com, South Florida. theideas-exchange.org. winit.net. Major ideas websites. Life to me is a constant need to explore interesting, alternative ideas that are not usually accessible through the mainstream media. I do this to stay inspired and stimulated. I listen to shortwave radio, cruise the internet and generally listen to alternative late-night talk radio. Try #001.9, number 133, number 290, number 301 or AG 243 and HM 866 at the library for books about weird stuff. There could be some interesting sociology alternative type books from hashtag 300-306. akpress.org, innertraditions.com, and lumpanics.com have some good books about the individual in society. For more resources on alternative ideas, refer to my travel, recreation, and entertainment book. Take the following websites as entertainment. Remember, enlightened, free people believe in nothing beyond themselves. alternatelinks.com, darklinks.com, haddock.org, search engine for alternative topics. links.net, livelinks.com, moroni.org/esoteric_links.html, worldovalternatives.com, zanzibar.com/directory/links.asp, alternative culture. Essential media. POB 661245. La California, 90066-1245. 800-490-5350. 310-574-1554. Fax, 310-574-3060. Essentialmedia.com. Everything in alternative culture. Ideas Master List websites. zerodaymedia.net. oneup.com. twofreedom.com. twowise.org. a-albionic.com. abolishthebank.org. acresusa.org. activist.ca. adcritic.com. aestheticrealism.org. affirmation.com, brainstickers.com. agonist.org. airamerica.com. pinkemersonradioponderings.blogspot.com. alarmingnews.com. alchemind.org. alph.org, wisdom. allaboutpopularissues.org. allamericanpatriots.com. altculture.com. alternatives.com. alternativesmagazine.com. alternet.org, alternative media. americanlegacy.org. americanpatrol.com/reference. americanprogress.org. americansfortruth.com. americanthinker.com. amrn.com. amrn.com, American Renaissance. talkymag.com. amrn.com. anarchistblackcross.org. anarchy.org. angurman2.com. antiwar.com. anythingbut.com. apprentice.org.uk. aquarianage.org. aracinet.com/atheism/takapox5. arcanearchive.org. artistwaywork.com. artofliving.org. artpassions.net. ascentmagazine.com. asci.org, art and science collaboration. asianpacificpost.com. askphilosophers.org. asylum.com. asylum.com. atheistalliance.org. atheists.org. atlanteenscience.com. atomicbooks.com. attitudefactor.com. autodidactic.com. avoca.6cnet.net.au/ozideas, Australia Ideas Bank. awarenet.com. azone.org. azsdrnet.com/free_that. backlash.com. backpocket.com. baconcph.com. baha'i.org. band-books.com. bartleby.com/156/11.html. batelmedia.com. bbc.co.uk/horizon. behancemag.com. beliefnet.com. believemag.com. belogical.com. bermuda-triangle.org. bescutlergallery.com, alternative art. betterworld.com. beyondsatire.us. bfi.org, Pick the Everything I Know book. BigBrassBlog.com. BigThink.com. BillionsWithZeroKnowledge.com. BizarreMag.com, 888-428-6676. BizSpirit.com. BlackAgendaReport.com. BlackInformant.com. BlackSanJews.com. BlakeArchive.org, William Blake, 19th century writer/mystic. blog.wired.com/wired-science/2008/03/top-10-creation.html, top 10 creationist discoveries of all time. blogforamerica.com. blogmaverick.com. blogs.guardian.co.uk/news. bloodlesscoo.com. bluecollarpolitics.com. blueestatedigital.com. bobbymcferrin.com, social thinking musician with hit Don't Worry, Be Happy. bofunk.com/categories/stupid_ideas/3.html. bogrits.com, Vietnam vet turned government critic. bohemianmama.blogspot.com. boingboing.net, neurozine. buertz.com. borowitzreport.com. boxesandarrows.com. brainstorminform.com. bravenet.com. breakpoint.org. burningman.com, Black Rock Desert, NV. bust.com, alternative culture for women. buzzflash.com. buzzmachine.com. buzzmachine.com. calculatedriskblog.com. campaignfortruth.com. campsark.com. captainsquartersblog.com. carnicum.com, chemtrail spraying all across the continental United States. carpnoctem.com, seize the night, art for the romantic dark, erotica. kcpedia.com/wiki/ideas_guy. caw.org/green-egg/index.html, Journal of the Church of All Worlds. cbc.ca/ideas. cbc.ca/outfront. cbc.ca/sacred balance. cbc.ca/tapestry. seller.org. changes.org, hippie culture. changingcourse.com. chaosandcoffee.com. charlesplatt.com, net sex, net crime. charlataction.org, Action Center for Justice. charnel.com/automatism, easing morbid curiosity. shapaniSSC.com, food. choke.com. churchofreality.org, dedicated to reality. citizenlink.org. citizenreviewonline.org. citizenx.org. cominganarchy.com. truthdig.com. clamormagazine.org. closertotruth.com. club2000.com. cockeyed.com. coffeehousebook.com. cognitive-edge.com. cointelligence.org. collectedthoughts.com. colorado.edu/journalism/medially meaning of life. combatreform.com. commandpost.org. command-post.org. commondreams.org. 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 members.tripod.com/invisible10 dreams and visions of an invisible boy, links. barefootsworld.net. iconoclast.ca. peacejusticestudies.org. virtueinline.org. commongood.org. community.net. communityvoices.org. conspiracy.com. conspire.com. contribution.andrew.cmu.edu/usr/tp0x/chomsky. convinceme.net. cooldesignideasblog.net. coolglobes.com. cooperativeresearch.org. corante.com. corante.com/strange. cosmicconservative.com. counterpunch.org. coilsandsharp.com, cr.org, Conciliation Resources, crack.com, create.org, creativebits.org, creativecitiessummit.com, creativeideas4u.com, creativeloafing.com, creators.com, cruel.com, crumbproducts.com, psychedelic comic writer from the 60s, csicop.org/si, ctheory.com, cultnews.com, cultureby.com, culturemachine.tees.ac.uk, current.com, cuttingge.org, cuttingge.org, telling the truth about the New World Order, cuttinggereport.com, cyberfireworks.com, fireworks, cyberlight.org, cibobia.org/forums, damonrecords.com, damonher.it/html/visit the temple, daminteresting.com, danmillman.com, wrote some interesting books like The Way of the Peaceful Warrior, darkgoateecart.com, darwinawards.com, stupidity, datalounge.com, datawranglers.com, davinciinstitute.com, deadbeattown.com, Rudy's Great Ideas, dealsonline.com/origins, deathbysuburb.net, defamer.com, daemon.nl/weird, democracyinaction.org, democracyinaction.org, democracymatters.org, demonbox.com, free minds in a fucked up world, desires.com, desktopreflections.com, desperateicons.com, dharmaet.org, dewshorror.com, deerisland.com, deoff.org, dig.com, dgsurvey.com/mystic, digitalstoryteller.com, disambiguity.com, discovergreatideas.co.nz, disinfo.com, the subculture search engine, disinformatics.com, djscience.www3.50megs.com, cool stuff, dmoon.com, 800-547-0182, dope.org, dogchurch.org, dolomite.net, don'theideaguy.com, dougstanhope.com, humor, downtownexpress.com, dearragtimes.com, dreamhosters.com, dreamlandresort.com, dearroom.demon.co.uk/tom/cannibal.htm, dougmirror.com/offbeat_news, dw-world.de inspired minds, e.webring.com/hub?ring=sign psychedelic trip, eai.com, engineering animation, eclectica.org, eclectics.com, economyleague.org, eden.com, edgarcasey.org, edge.org, edisonhouse.com/cool_ideas/cool_ideas.htm, emeraldearth.net, emma.unm.edu/lnr/index.html, love and rage newsletter, injustice issues, emperors-clothes.com, en.wikipedia.org/wiki/_index_2_the_great_ideas, a syntopican, an index to the great ideas, 1952, is an index by Mortimer Adler. en.wikipedia.org/wiki/great_ideas, Great Ideas is a book series made up of 20 short books. en.wikipedia.org/wiki/love_and_war, enlightenment.com, enterprisemission.com, eroding.org.uk, escape.com/bobzark, ethicalsociety.org, etnopsico.org, profound group in Spain, everybodyinobout.org, exp@world.org, some interesting books for freedom seekers. expertvillage.com, ezinarticles.com, Love and Annihilation, The Infinite Warrior Cycle, factset5.com, fadingobsession.com, fairness.org, fantasyjava.com, fas.harvard.edu/tilde pluralsem/directory/directory.cgi, database of all religious centers not Christian or Jewish, fc.net/phrack/under.html, fightback.us/forum, finalcall.com, findyhouraq.com, firewalking.com, taliburgon.com, firstthings.com, a journal of religion, culture, and public life. Firstthings.com, religious and social. 5greatideas.com, flashflooding.blogspot.com, flipside.org, fnbnews.org, forandagainst.com, foreignexchange.tv, foreverlearning.com, forgottenrealms.wikia.com, forteundims.com, fouridmonsters.com, foxsearchlight.com, fragmentsweb.org, freedom.org, freedomforum.org, freedomhq.com, freedomsite.org, freedom-subdued.org, freedomswatch.org, freedomtochoosemedia.org, Free Market Champions, freegorypharaoh.com, freeradioSchool.blogspot.com, freerepublic.com, freerepublic.com, freespeech.org, freestateproject.org, project for free community like Galt's Gulch from the novel Atlas Shrugged, freethought.com, freetv.ca, freewebs.com/masters-of-knowledge, freuist.org, project for free community like Galt's Gulch from the novel Atlas Shrugged, fringepage.com, fringeware.com, futurenet.org, futurshokes.net, gatesofheck.com, 800-213-8170, The Underground Fringe, gccvoice.com, gelefmagazine.com, generationsatwork.com/articles/millennials.htm, gentlespyrit.com, gladwell.com, glassdog.com, globalideasbank.org, globalideasbank.org, gnosticliberationfront.com, gogaga.com, goldendawn.org, goldenswamp.com, goldhaven.com, goodnewsnetwork.org, grade-a.com, greywolfpress.org, greatdreams.com, soberingthoughts.blogspot.com, greaterknowledge.wordpress.com, great-ideas.org, Great Ideas in Education, greatideasco.com, greatideasconference.org, greatmystery.org, greattalkno.com, groundreport.com, groups.yahoo.com/group/greatdreams-forum, groller.com, hansnet.org, Human Services and Community Development Information, hansen.gmu.edu, haphem.com, harmstyle.www.50megs.com.com/index, cool screensavers, headshift.com, heavyreading.com, hedonism.com, helium.com, hereonearth.org, stories of life, hrhangout.com, hevanet.com/nighthawk/nwo48.html, world government rule, higherpower.com, hippiemuseum.org, hippie.com, hli.org, Human Life International, hobo.org, National Hobo Association, hoffmania.com, The Chronicle of the American Condition, hoffman-info.com, home.earthlink.net/C#, horrornet.com, horrornet.com/funeralparty.htm, hotair.com, hrgeiger.com, eccentric artist scientist, hrw.org, Human Rights Watch, humanenergy.net, humanevents.com, humanevents.com, hungryheadbooks.com, alternative culture, hungryminds.com, access to 10,000 free online courses, hyperoctave.com, iam.com, iamanaangel/files/cool_ideas/cool_ideas.html, ias.org, Sufism, icantwaitovote.org, idea.com, ideaaday.com, ideablob.com, ideacenter.com, ideachannel.com, ideacityonline.com, ideafinder.com, fascinating stories behind the world's greatest inventors, idea-group.com, km4dev.org/wiki/index.php/knowledge_power_and_development. Knowledge power is perhaps the most neglected form of poverty. ideaman.edu, blogs.org, ideamarketers.com, ideasman.co.uk, ideasman.com, ideasman.wordpress.com, ideasmanv2.wordpress.com, ideas-na.com, idea-sparks.com, ideavillage.com, ideabanken.no, ideasbank, ideologic.org, idiocentrism.com, idlewords.com, idmind.net/community/argo-any-lab/index.html, illusions.com, imalchemy.com, alchemy, impactpress.com, independent.org, blogforamerica.com, indieweb.com/tiki/exotica, individual.com, infidels.org, infoshop.org/inews, infovore.org, infowars.com, ingaandtalkconnect.com, in the rightplace.blogspot.com, wjxx.com/news/strange/news-article.aspx, inmotionmagazine.com, in-my-opinion.org, inner-sansitum.com, inquirer.net, insomnicpress.com, inspiredminds.de, instiapundit.com, jimmythescoop.com, halosken.com, interconnected.org, internetbumperstickers.com, worldofalternatives.com, inthekzone.com, international knowledge cities, intheseatimes.com, intrepidtrips.com, intuition.org, intuitionmagazine.com, intuitive.com, io.com/snewton/zen, ior.com/ranc, ipetitions.com, ireport.com, iresist.com, iresist.org, ironfeather.com, alternative culture, ishkbooks.com, Institute for the Study of Human Knowledge, island.net/dp Wilson, social technology, island.org/prescience, itp.edu, transpersonal psychology, itsgettinghotinhere.org, jbs.org/obs, genehouston.org, jefferson.village.virginia.edu/spoons, philosophy, jesterjones.co.za, joycechapman.com, jugglezine.com, jewextapos.com, alternative art, jwriter.com/lab/greatideas.htm, there's more than one way to nurture an idea until it bears fruit, kaichang.net, key-z.com, Ken Kesey, killdevilhill.com, killingthebuddha.com, knowledge.co.uk, knowledge.co.uk/xxx/lobster, knowledgepower.info, home for free-range thought, knowledgeproblem.com, noneti.com, noneti.net. komotion.org, Artists Group. kotk.org. kybard.com. kzsu.stanford.edu/uwi.html. lairdwilcox.com, book/list of fringe political groups, right and left wing. laughingliberally.com. lauralee.com. leadstory.com. learn.edu. learningannex.com. leftmediacampaign.org. letsgetright.org. lfs.org, libertarian. lib.virginia.edu/exhibits/60s, hippies. liberalserving.typepad.com. prospect.org. lifewithholocrity.com. lighthouseblog.blogs.com. lila.info, shamanism. lily2.com/catland. lists.village.virginia.edu/60s. littleine.org. livefreenow.org. livejournal.com. liveleak.com. livinginbalance.com. logoplex.com/resources/mom, militia of Montana catalog. lumpanics.com. lucidcentral.com. lumen.org. lover.com, Love Underground Vision Radio, Internet radio station, alternative culture. lycaeum.org/strike. madskills.com. magi.com. magicalblend.com, New Age. magicality.net. makethemaccountable.com, making politicians and media accountable. manchesterguild.org, arts and crafts. mandiriva.com. man-ideas.com. monofaction.tv. manvsfilms.com. maps.org/news-letters. mason.gmu.edu/r-lathbur. masterpath.org. matrixmasters.com. maverick.com. mayhem.net/crime/cults1.html, cults. mediafilter.org. mir.net/John L. members.aol.com/TinaSky. members.tripod.com/zigzag67/index-8.html, great stories, dreams, and experiences. memecentral.com, memes, meme ticks, and mind virus resource. mentaldischarge.com. michaelmoore.com. microbe.org/news. midwest-populistamerica.com. millenniumsociety.org. mindfully.org. mindpollen.com. mindstates.org. miraclecenter.org. miraclechannel.ca. mk.net/mcf, mind control. monkeymatters.com. montana.com/lighthearts. moondance.org. morons.org. motherjones.com. motherjones.com. motherjones.com, social issues and political commentary. mountainfreak.com. mpeters.de/mpeweb/hop/links/links, cool images. mtc.mb.ca, Winnipeg Fringe Theatre. muckraker.org, 415-543-1200, Center for Investigative Reporting. mv-voice.com, Mountain View Voice. mydailyconstitution.org. odomuse.com/50226711/knowledge_is_power_over_u.php, beware how much the big search engines know about you. myhero.com. mysteriousofcanada.com. myth.com. narite.com. namethatconspiracy.com. narada.com. nationsinacircle.ca. naturentk.net. necronomy.com. nevadacorruption.info. newage.com. newamerica.net. newchapter.com/educate-yourself. newfalcon.com, Book Rebels and Devils, The Psychology of Liberation. Newgrounds.com, newlifeisteries.com, anyworderonline.com, newroadmap.com, newsblogs.chicagotribune.com/religion_the-seeker, newsoftheweird.com, new-tradition.org, newyouth.com/educateourself.asp. The first step in changing the world is to understand it. nextg.org/ellery, nexusmagazine.com, afraidtoask.com, nodogs.org, notic.org, Cool Science Group, no-god.org, atheism, nomorefakenews.com, nomoregames.net, ask500people.com, public opinion polls for the world, nonviolence.org, anorbusiness.com, noshame.org, notbored.org, notbored.org, nothingness.org, nowwethepeople.org, nwbotanicals.org, nwotruth.com, newyorknerd.com, nytnature.com, obscure.org, onebody.com, onemarinesview.com, oneworld.net, oneworld.org/Rory Peck, The Free Lens, onfocus.com, opencenter.org, opencenter.org/lapis, openleft.com, open-spaces.com, opinioneditorials.com, opinionjournal.com, oricomtech.com/miscellaneous/cool.htm, orionsociety.org, ot.com/tilde-white/rantings, ourcommunitypower.org, ourworld.compuserve.com/homepages/scienceterrors/homepage.htm, outsideart.co.uk, pagan.net, palsolidarity.org, pantheon.org/mystica, pantheon.org/mythica, myths, parabola.org, myths, paranoia.com, paranoia.com/co, Church of Euthanasia, paranoia.com/co/resources/fc/unave2.html, Unabomber Manifesto, parapsychology.org, parascope.com, pardonthedisruption.com, americanvoiceinstitute.org, passagistocanada.com, immigrants talk about their paths in life, pbk.org/american-chola, pbs.org/independent lens, pbs.org/wgbh/commanding heights, pdxzine.com, people.tribe.net, peoplepowerunlimited.com, developing leaders, building community, peoplepress.org, peoples-voice.com, performingtheworld.org, personalinfocloud.com, phantom.com, faul.com, pierce.ee.washington.edu/david/egoist, planetaryvision.net, plasticbag.org, platform.blogs.com, plumvillage.org, meditation, po-news.com, poeticpeoplepower.com, poetry and activism, poetrybysharlaskfin.com, poetrychallenge.org, police-against-nwo.com, policyandsociety.org, policyinnovations.org/ideas, populist.com, positive.net, powerblogs.com, powerlineblog.com, prog-index.org, preoccupations.org, preoccupations.org/history_of_ideas/index.html, preoccupations.org/postmodernism/index.html, preoccupations.org/privacy/index.html, presscitizen.com, prevailingwinds.org, prisonplanet.com, prisonplanet.com, privatedata.com, progressive.org, ProjectEnlighten.com. ProjectEnlighten.org, Project Enlighten, the Greater Knowledge Fund newsletter. ProjectsList.biz, freelance project lists. Promo.net/pg, Project Gutenberg. Preerev.com. Protry.com/spirit.html. Proust.com, writer. ProzacSpotlight.org, Adbusters. Public.asu.edu/atmxw, altered states. Publicaction.com. Publicagendae.org. Socialjusticejournal.org. Publicfigure.com. Publiuspundit.com. Pulpfiction.com. punia.edu.msu.edu/2008/02/05/ideas-r-cool. pww.org, People's Weekly World. qando.net. questforlife.com. quicktopic.com. rabbitblog.com. rachelrosenthal.org. radicalmedia.com. radicaluncertainty.com. radioforchange.com. radioproject.org, leftwing. raids.org. rain.org. raintaxi.com. ralphmag.org. rand.org, 310-393-0411, Elite Intellectual Group. rant-your-head-off.com. raven1.net. ravenrecording.com. raywilson.com, Robert Anton Wilson. reallycoolideas.blogspot.com. realpeoplerealstuff.com. reason.com. reason.com. reason.com/blog. reason.org, magazine. rebirthofreason.com. reboot.gogagga.com. redacted.com. rediscovermusic.com. regionalinfoalert.org. rekindlingtheinnerfire.blogspot.com. religiousmovements.org. renaissanceofhope.org, unites sincere atheists and believers, especially Jews and Christians. renegadepress.com. renewamerica.us. renz.com. resurginst.org, Peace on Earth. revels.org. reversespeec.com. revolting.com. rfidtribe.com. RFID Tribe serves as an engine for ideas, people, and capital. rhetorica.net. rhlworldview.com. rights.org. right-thoughts.us. righttruth.typepad.com. roadtripnation.com, website dealing with life stories of alternative thinking people. robertounger.com/ideas_man.htm. rockies.net/spirit. rockthevote.com. rolexawards.com. roundtable.org. rtfm.mit.edu/pub/usenet/directory. ru.org, Renaissance Magazine. sacreddance.org. sacredsites.com. salted.com. samefacts.com. sas.org, Society of Amateur Scientists. SashaEfrairJones.com. satanslaundromat.com. savageminds.org. savedarfur.org. savetheinternet.com. scaredmonkeys.com. science-spirit.com. science-spirit.org. scientology.org. secretan.com. seekerspub.com. sensmedic.net/sprawl. serendip.brynmawr.edu. shadowwar.com. shakatura.com, psychedelic art. sheldrake.org. shiftcontrol.com. shirketi.com. shocking.com. shout.net/bigred/cn.html, Conspiracy Nation newsletter. seeks.org. similarminds.com. simonjaister.org. simpleabundance.com. simplenet.com/feelinggroovy. simplewisdom.com, sirbacon.org, sirius.com/manicd, skepticfiles.org, skepticfiles.org, elandslide.org, wvablue.com, WV Citizen Action Group, skepticnews.com, skullduggery.com, skywebs.com, slate.msn.com, slideshare.net, smalldeadanimals.com, smallwarsjournal.com, smartmobs.com, smartworld.com/perceptions, smokinggun.com, funny and offbeat legal stuff, socialistviewpoint.org, soli.inav.net/psrf, offbeat art, somecoolideas.blogspot.com, somestrangeIdeas.com, sonic.net/mailed-icta, soulfulliving.com, soulsdesires.com, soundtracks.com, sovereignzociety.com, spacegepop.com, spewww.com, sphere.com, spiritlink.com, spiritualityhealth.com, spiritualparenting.com, spiritweb.org, spokesmanreview.com, spokesmanreview.com, spottedpeckcarry.com, spu.edu/tilde/sinfine/progressive.html, leftist, squarefree.com, srl.org, survival research laboratories, standdown.net, starhawk.org, goddess new age feminist native, starsge.com, statecraft.org, stayfreemagazine.org, stetson.edu/mmcfrla/extreme.html, stockholmchallenge.se, sharing ideas, stormingheaven.com, straight.com, strangeattractor.co.uk, strangemag.com, stupid.com, stupidevilbastard.com, stupidevilbastard.com, sweet101.com, the curious reader's destination, sunzite.unc.edu/subgenius, sunzite.unc.edu/zen, sweetliberty.org, synchronicity.org, sininfo.com/sov, non-mainstream news, talkleft.com, tao.ca, tapsearch.com, tasteoflife.com, tatteredpage.net, tbsstoryline.com, inspired, activist people, tcp.com/tilde-prime/raw, Robert Anton Wilson, teachingterror.net, teamzool.org, telepolis.com, teleport.com, that'soffensive.com, the7thfire.com/new_world_order, theadvertiser.com, theamericanenterprise.com, theamericaninterest.com, theamericanmind.com, theatlantic.com, thebiglead.com, thebrainexchange.com, thedevilsadvocate.org, thegeodaily.com, theeopener.com, thefarm.org, successful commune, theforbiddenknowledge.com, thegreatideas.org, Center for the Study of the Great Ideas, thehumanmarvels.com, theihs.org, theimpudentobserver.com, theinformationcenter.com, thememoryhole.org, thementalmilitia.org, themessenger.info, themilitant.com, themodernword.com, thenation.com, thenation.com, theanion.com, satire of the news, the-park.com/tbs, theprikofliberty.org, therace.org, technology and science, theseeker.com, thesession.org, thesmokinggun.com, thesmokinggun.com, thestatesman.org, thestranger.com, thethinkingblog.com, thetransom.com/chip/cleaner/index.html, thetruth.com, theunjustmedia.com, thingsmagazine.net, thinkprogress.org, thinkprogress.org, thisisamerica.net, thoughtsandvisions.com, timeblog.com, timeopinionleaders.com, tnr.com, The New Republic, tolerance.org, tompaine.com, topiccraze.com, torpor.com, cool screensavers, totallyexplained.com, touch.cc, townhall.com, townhall.com/columnists, townhall.com/columnists, transfairusa.org, support fair trade, tribeideas.tribe.net, trueetails.org, truthout.org, turbulence.org, 21361.com, 800-992-1361, books, 2-4.net/weblog.php, twr.mobrian.com/articles/weapons_of_mass_destruction-typhoid.htm, typepad.com, ucmp.berkeley.edu/history/evolution.html, evolution, ugo.com, underground online, ultrareach.net, ultrareach.net, umi.com, 800-521-0600, University Microfilms, 500,000 doctoral dissertations, umsa.umd.edu. Thoreau, Henry David Thoreau, unamerican.com, unboard.me.uk, unconventionalthoughts.com, folsomvillage.com/world archives, uncutmountain.com, undergroundlondon.com, undergroundpress.org, magazine that reviews underground zines, universalhuman.org, universalquest.com, unsolved.com, urban legends, dead website, try.com, thoughtco.com, and thebalance.com, urbanlegends.com, usaring.com, uscpublicdiplomacy.com, uta.edu/english/opt/collateral/baudweb.html, Baudelaire, utne.com, utne.com, alternative articles, valleynet.com/wealth/tlhome.html, Terra Libra, free country, vancouverfringe.com, venturingforth.com, very-clever.com, visiontv.ca, vitalmusic.net, voiceofpower.net, valak.com, valak.com/posts, waldenpondchat/wboard.html, Henry David Thoreau, wanttoknow.info, warhol.org, wrletters.com, warsupport.com, waterw.com/lucia/a.html, The Artist's Way, wayofadventure.com, webcom.com/genosis, weber.washington.edu/uckelvin/bk5/bk5.htm, The Evolution of the Mind, webhippie.com, weeklyworldnews.com, tabloid, weird-jinx.unsl.edu/escadoma, weirdvideos.com, well.com, we-make-money-not-art.com, wfs.org, World Future Society, whatreallyhappened.com, whatreallyhappened.com, whatthebeep.com, whisperedprayers.com, wholeearthmag.com, wholeearthmag.com, woollyheart.com, wholepeople.com, wickedlocal.com, wikia.com/wiki/village_pump/ideas_bank, willowrosevillage.com/ideas-success.html, windsofchange.net, workingforchange.com, worldaffairsboard.com, worldcongress.com, worlddharma.org, worldpolicy.org, lighthousepatriotjournal.wordpress.com, goldhaven.com, themoderatevoice.com/society/lawlegalmatters, worldrevolution.org, worldviewer.com, worldwatch.org, wrongplanet.net, wustl.edu/juju/surar, surrealism, ww4report.com, yesmagazine.org, yogajournal.com, yogananda-srf.org, youth2youth.org/talking, youtube.com, europe.com/org/tesla, zenistrom.com, zephoria.org /thoughts, zoe7.com, Altered States. Chapter 3. You can profit by knowing the future. Emerging trends /futurology. Use the following article to help you in choosing a job, business, or career and investing money. When people see other people wanting something that doesn't have a real, practical function in the world because it's made to appear cool, trendy and leading to pleasure, they soon start to want it too. Universal law of pop culture marketing. People who study society and try to predict emerging trends are sometimes called futurologists, like Faith Popcorn, Melinda Davis, and Alvin Toffler. If you know the next trend before it hits, it could help you plan a career, find a job, invest your money, start a business, run a more successful business, and otherwise use your head to figure out a way to make money from it. The following are some one-liners about what's going on in society or what probably will happen at some point in time, but nobody can predict the future. I read futurology books from before 2006. They all said oil would go up to $300 a barrel. Nobody predicted the real estate crash and depression. As a matter of fact, one book I read felt like I was in fantasy land. It was an extremely rosy picture that only gets better and better. They said poverty and hunger would be eradicated. I guess they don't know about man's greedy, self-centered nature to get they can for themselves, exploit who they have and screw the people dying of starvation. I don't believe man is gonna help his fellow man much. If it was going to happen, it would already have been done. I see fat cats with power on one side and everybody else on the other. It's all about science and technology. A major alternative form of energy will have to come into existence soon in cars and utilities. Above all else, people want job security and financial security. Help people in these two areas and you will make money. Adventure travel. Aging population, healthcare. Aging baby boomers. Along with the high-tech world, there is a nostalgia for simpler, more conservative times. Alternative energy. Practical and social robots. Portable electricity, very powerful tiny batteries. Fuel cells. Computer-human interface, microchip in the brain to enhance thinking and memory. Three-dimensional displays on a screen. Super learning systems. Anti-aging/longevity medicine. Better space travel, live on other planets to mine them for minerals. Bionic body parts, enhanced bodies, cyborgs, part human, part machine. Biotechnology. Body organ cloning. Brain implants to control people, starting with prisoners, eventually everybody. Career change is normal and expected. Climate control. Cocooning, holing up in the house surrounded by comforts and gadgets. Computer usage is big. Computers that think like people. Concern with clean/non-toxic environment around the house. Concern with relaxation, relieving stress. Corporate downsizing, hiring of contract workers. Corporate espionage is big business. Cosmetic surgery is taking off. Dual career couples. Eco-environmental. Everything is temporary, not meant to last forever. Everything is disposable, even people. Everything takes at least several years to catch on. Personal computers were around since 1981 but didn't really catch on until around 1987. The internet is still not in most American households. Fear of being mugged, burglarized or carjacked. Fitness equipment. Gays are going mainstream. Genetic engineering of babies. Genetic predisposition testing. Globalization, smaller cultures slowing dying out to the one mass media culture. Hip-hop culture. Home as castle, place to fix up for comfort unlike the more outgoing society in the past. Identity theft, computer fraud. Individual tracking, biochip implant, can't hide. Information availability and sharing through technology are big. Interactive multimedia, using computer software with all your gadgets. It's alright to waste time or to not be ambitious in the capitalistic sense. Keeping aging people healthy and alive is big business. Less leisure time than before. Less focus on college education than skills education, actually be able to do something real. Lifetime planning is less prevalent than it used to be. Many disabled people need services. More Muslim. More women than men in the workforce. More internet sales, delivery services expand. More minorities, especially Latino. Most people are brainwashed by capitalism. They think the grass is greener elsewhere and always want more. Most people like new technology that betters their lives despite a minor backlash such as some people saying whereas 20 years ago, there was no email or cell phones, now they have to deal with these things. Nanotechnology, manufacturing at the molecular level. Neurotechnology. No privacy, all online correspondence recorded, surveillance cameras on the streets and in most public buildings like stores. Organic foods. People generally don't stay at one workplace for life. They move around to different companies, even change careers. People want goods and services quickly. People say they resent it when they're being manipulated to buy something to conform to an image, yet everywhere I look I see colored hair, men wearing earrings and Nike logos. Despite this massive brainwashing, there is a certain element of the population that's anti to all this and purposely refuses to buy brand stuff. People want some meaning in their lives beyond just capitalist values. People want to enjoy their work. People say they want a personal life. They don't just want to be workaholics. People are looking for enlightenment, wisdom, and a sense of bliss and euphoria. They pay handsomely for good and services they think will get them closer to these things. People are relying less on government, more on themselves. People are incessant consumers, looking for happiness or at least a momentary feeling of transcendence, kinda like a kid opening his birthday presents when they go out to buy something for themselves. People want love, relationships, and social connections. People say they want more spiritual meaning, to find their authentic selves, but most will settle for a bag of chips, a bottle of hair coloring and a big screen TV. People want to feel reassured of their spiritual roots. People want an environmentally cleaner world. People want health, vitality, and longevity. People want to identify with other people who share their views. People want to create a comfortable security zone to protect them from the toughness of life. People are nostalgic for the past. People want personal connections with other people. People want luxury. People en masse are paying good money for all kinds of alternative medical treatments and all kinds of stuff to help them reach the fountain of youth. People feel they're under too much stress. They will pay for gadgets to help make their lives easier. People not marrying until 30s. People want it all and they want it now. People want simplicity and ease in the boring tasks of life, yet want stimulation in things that interest, inspire and titillate them. People don't want to be reminded of their shortcomings, so when you try to sell a wheelchair or medicine for diarrhea, don't be direct about it. Stress the positive. Lie a little. People want to feel good immediately, right here, right now. Population shift out of cities to suburbs. Robotics. Saving money. Self-knowledge and self-sufficiency are always trendy. Help people help themselves. Shift away from conventional medicine to alternative medicine. Simplicity is a new virtue. Single parents. Stem cell treatments. Sustainable living. Technology needs better education system. Teleportation, breaking a product or animal down into molecules, transporting it to another location where the molecules are reassembled. The power of people lies more in organizing into small, local groups to do things in their own community than in having faith in the federal government. The governments of democratic nations are getting more power over the people. The government is trying to control the people by overstating the threat of terrorism, which is good for the security industries. The rich get richer, the poor get poorer. The field of privacy management is a growth field. There is no job security anymore. There is more apathy to mainstream politics, but people are getting more involved in causes they care about. Too much change too fast causes stress. Virtual brain, download your consciousness to a computer. We are now at a time where aging baby boomers will pay for goods and services to help keep them healthy, wealthy, good-looking and wise. What people really want is peace. Peace is a state in between happily doing nothing and happily doing things that interest and inspire you. They will pay for goods and services in these areas. Whereas in the old days, there were clear markers for status in society, nowadays, a lot of people don't care, and some are even antagonistic to people who try to display symbols of status like drive an expensive car just for the sake of show. Wireless information technology. With entertainment, you'll be able to smell, taste and feel sensations. Young people are obsessed with appearing cool to others. Try hashtag 303.4800-4973, 306.097 to 306.3 or CB161, HF5415 and HN59.2 at the library for books about emerging trends. Books about pop culture are at hashtag 306.00 or HM621 at the library. There could be some interesting sociology type books from hashtag 300-304. Books about the future of business are at hashtag 330.971, hashtag 658.4035 or HC115 and HD30 at the library. Books about sociology in general are at hashtag 301.02373 or HM585 at the library. Future websites. What's Next is a free bi-monthly newsletter reporting about social, technical, and political trends that could be important in the future. It is written to help congressional representatives think about the future as they prepare legislation. You too can subscribe by contacting your U.S. Congressional Representative's office and asking his/her staff to place you on the newsletter's mailing list. Your Congressman. U.S. Congress. Washington, D.C. 20515. 202-224-3121. House.gov. Futurity.org, Futurity, latest discoveries. MacFound.org, look up the recipients of this year's Genius Grants, who work in a wide range of specialties. Ideamarketers.com. Biomimicryinstitute.org, we could benefit by using as a model biological solutions that animals have come up with. awesome.good.is/good100/good100.html, Good Magazine's collection of the most important, exciting and innovative people, ideas, and projects making our world better. Innovations.harvard.edu, Government Innovators Network. pewresearch.org/databank/daily number, a wide range of topics. socialscience.tjc.edu. un.org/popin/wdtrends.htm. tnbt.com, the next big thing. TNBT is a full-service online sources for news, information, and resources for those struggling to figure out how to do business in the new economy. Brookings.edu, the nation's oldest think tank. Forzaite.org. en.wikipedia.org/wiki/futures_studies. mhtx.com/technology/micro_fuel_cell, micros fuel cell technology. Transhumanist.com/volume1/moravec.htm, when will computer hardware match the human brain? betterhumans.com. alcor.org, cryonics at Alcor. hansen.gmu.edu/wildideas.html, 14 wild ideas. sholiasd.org/futurism. ibiblio.org/jstrout/uploading/mu homepage.html, mind uploading. udkowsky.net/tmol-faq/tmol-faq.html, FAQ about the meaning of life. sanaelnair.org/articles/index.htm, what is futures studies? news.nationalgeographic.com/news, look for top 10 lists. imminsd.org, Immortality Institute. lifeboat.com/x/main, Lifeboat Foundation, Space Arcs. longbets.org, long bets. kuro5hin.org/prime-intellect/mopidx.html, the metamorphosis of prime intellect. forzaite.org/nancy stems. phrenecea.com, predicting the ultimate outcome of the internet and biotechnology revolutions. pronoia.net, the opposite of paranoia. The realization that the universe is working on your behalf. posthuman.com. incipientposthuman.com. lph.se/trans/index-2.html, transhumanist resources. thevenusproject.com, the Venus Project. singinst.org/what-singularity.html, what is the singularity? sysopmind.com. framtiden-er-din.com, welcome to the future. glowcom.org/special_topics/social_trends. dondodge.typepad.com/the_next_big_thing. trendhot.com. codetail.be/dwodp2008.php?c=society/future/organizations. google.com/trends, graphs of web trends. futuriststuff.net. changingworldtech.com, changing world technologies. wfs.org. fadmind.com. undergroundnotes.com/e-commerce.htm, e-commerce and the future. teacher_of_future.tripod.com. monitoringthefuture.org. tomorrowproject.net. futurehorizons.net. brandchannel.com. cbc.ca/rhymepace. cds.duke.edu, demographic studies. cmdglobal.com/trends/techwatch, creative media database, innovative and creative media campaigns. digitaltrends.com. lostremote.com, latest trends and technology. faithpopcorn.com. futureresearch.com. futurescopes.com. fu2research.com. futurismic.com. gallup.com, the Gallup poll. globalfuturist.com. globalideasbank.org. google.com/press/zeitgeist.html, lists most popular searches. From this, get an idea of what type of business to start. iftf.org, the Institute for the Future. imagitrends.com. imknowledgecenter.com, Iron Mountain Knowledge Center. masscustomization.de, type in your measurements on any clothing website and get custom clothing made. netfuturyinstitute.com. newsociety.com, book the world's greatest ideas. prb.org, Population Reference Bureau. radicalmedia.com. technoworthy.com/tags/trends. trendhunter.com. trendio.com. trendsguide.com. preoccupations.org/2007/11/trend-watching.html. trends-magazine.com. trendwatching.com. webtrendslive.com. worldwatch.org, Annual State of the World Report. Databases for general knowledge and statistical analysis. If you're into looking through statistics to spot trends, the future outlook for jobs and business and economic theory, check these websites out. Statisticians, designers, and computer scientists use data to help us understand more about ourselves and our surroundings. X1.com, finds any data. Data.gov, federal government databases. VLDB.org, Very Large Databases Endowment, a U.S. nonprofit organization incorporated to promote and exchange scholarly work in databases and related fields throughout the world. Statcan.ca. gc.ca/othergov/prov_e.html. prb.org, Population Reference Bureau. cia.gov/publication/factbook/index.html. worldbank.org. who.in/n, World Health Organization. esribus.com/report/ziplookup.html, marketing data for zip codes, demographic data for a zip code of your choice along with the national averages. mongabe.com, poorest and wealthiest places in the US, statistics on wealthy zip codes and demography. aprame.org, the Association of Professional Researchers for Advancement. census.gov/compendia/statub, statistical abstract of the United States. andrewdyke.com. annielausier.com. answers.google.com/answers/threadview/id/7787889.html. aws.amazon.com/public datasets. bankrate.com, bank rate monitor. bea.gov, U.S. Bureau of Economic Analysis. bea.gov/bea/regional/REIS, the Bureau of Economic Analysis, local economic data. behind-the-enemy-lines.blogspot.com. bis.gov, employment statistics. bizstats.com, provides easy access to useful business statistics and analysis of businesses and industries. bls.gov, Bureau of Labor Stats. bls.gov/bls/other.htm, statistical resources on the web. bls.gov/bls/other.htm, statistical resources on the web. bls.gov/cpi, consumer price indexes, price index data and background. bri.berkeley.edu/bri. cac.psu.edu/jdm114. calvin.edu/library/as. cdc.gov/nchs/default.htm, National Center for Health Statistics, one of the most important repositories of health data. census.gov, Census Bureau, incredibly important data about the country. census.gov/compendia/statub, statistical abstract of the United States. census.gov/geo/www/tiger, tiger, from the US Census Bureau, detailed data about roads, railroads, rivers, and zip codes. census.gov/statub, statistical abstract of the United States. census.gov/statub/www, statistical abstract of the United States, one-stop guide to U.S. statistics. censusscope.org, Censusscope, investigate trends for states, metro areas, and counties going back to 1980 or sometimes earlier. centerex.com/calendar.html. charlesproxy.com. cia.gov/library/publication/the-world-factbook/index.html. cn.net.au. crummy.com/software/beautiful beautiful soup library that makes parsing, ripping, easy. cs.muohio.edu. cs.muohio.edu. data.australia.gov.au. data.gov, federal government databases. datamaps.econdata.net. dataplace.knowledgeplex.org/cds, dataplace, create maps and charts of states, counties, and cities showing, by census tract, the home ownership rate, poverty rate, unemployment rate, vacancy rate, and the percent of housing units that are overcrowded. Datasf.org, San Francisco Data. dbpedia.org. debateman.com. demographia.com. devdata.worldbank.org/data-query, World Development Indicators. devour.co.nz. dh.gov.uk/n/publications and statistics/index.htm. domino.stat-usa.gov/econtest.nsf. drewconway.com/zia, politics data. earthtrends.wri.org. econompicdata.blogspot.com. visualeconomics.com. factfinder.census.gov/home/saf/main.html, American. eh.net/hmit, how much is that? Ask questions of comparative value covering purchasing power, exchange rates, and other variables between the past and today. elearnspace.org/blog/2009/10/01/finding-data. europa.eu.int, Europa the EU server. factfinder.census.gov. factfinder.census.gov/home/saf/main.html. factual.com. federalreserve.gov. fedstats.gov, the gateway to statistics from over 100 U.S. federal agencies. fedstats.gov/fedstats. finweb.com. fixedincome.com. flinklabs.com. flowingdata.com. flowingdata.com/state-of-the-world, world info. fms.trees.gov. followthemoney.org/services/index.phtml, political info. forums.flowingdata.com. freebase.com, free databases. freepolitics.com. geocommons.com, geography database. geodata.grid.unep.ch, Geodata portal gives access to some 500 different variables, as national, subregional, regional and global statistics. globalglassonion.blogspot.com. globalhealthfacts.org. guardian.co.uk/news/datablog, Guardian Data Blog, provides a lot of free-to-use data via Google Spreadsheets. home.att.net/neil2. icpsr.umich.edu/icpsr/web/icpsr/access/index.jsp. innovativeinteractivity.com. ilearnsmart.com. info.chimps.org. epums.org, epums, detailed census records. epums.umn.edu, great data sets. isr.umich.edu/src. jabberwokidesign.com. latebytes.nl/?p=685, 30 resources to find the data you need. lib.stat.cmu.edu/docel, data and story library, an online library of data files and stories that illustrate the use of basic statistics methods, from Carnegie Mellon. lib.umich.edu/govdocs/stats.html, statistical resources on the web, find updated statistics on everything from agriculture to business to labor to housing to the military. library.auckland.ac.nz/subjects/stats/offstats. many-eyes.com, exploratory site, they have a data section. maplight.org, political info. masterstats.com. mediasoce.com/people/jpalmer. myfady.com. mywebtools.biz. napem.org. nccs.urban.org, National Center for Charitable Statistics, National Center for Charitable Statistics. nces.ed.gov, National Center for Education Statistics, the federal agency that collects and analyzes education data. netresources.com/WSN. newgeography.com economic, demographic, and political commentary about places. ntu.edu.sg/library/virtual.htm. nyc.gov/html/datamine/html/home/home.shtml, supplies many sets of public data produced by city agencies. odci.gov/cia/dis/products/high/index.html, Handbook of International Economic Statistics. oecd.org, statistics on countries around the world. oecdilibrary.org. open.blogs.newyorktimes.com/tag/API, data-rich APIS. openstreetmap.org, OpenStreetMap, geography database. programmableweb.com. quickfacts.census.gov. researchpipeline.com. resourceshelf.com. ritholds.com. rje.org. search.cpan.org. seekingalpha.com. simplecomplexity.net. socialexplorer.com, from Queens College, helps you visualize United States demographic information with maps. stat.ukla.edu/data, UCLA statistics data sets, some of the data that UCLA Stat uses in their labs and assignments. statistics.com. statistics.gov.uk. stats.bls.gov. stats.oecd.org/index.aspx, OECD statistics, world info. statsheet.com, sports stats. stat-usa.gov, Stat USA, business, trade, and economic information. stls.frb.org/fred/data. sunzite3.berkeley.edu/wikis/datalab, Berkeley Data Lab, part of the UC Berkeley Library System. swivel.com. tcb-indicators.org. uis.unesco.org, UNESCO. uselectionatlas.org, Dave Leip's Atlas of U.S. Presidential Elections, data on national and state elections from the 1700s to the present. viatool.net. verifiable.com. webtrendmap.com. whitehouse.gov. whitehouse.gov/fsbr/esbr.html, Econstat Briefing Room. whitehouse.gov/fsbr/ssbr.html, Social Statistics Briefing Room. whitehouse.gov/fsbr/ssbr.html, Social Statistics Briefing Room. who.in/research/n, World Health Organization World Info. wikipedia.org. wonder.cdc.gov. worldcat.org, World Library Catalog. woecon.wstl.edu. yoursearchassistant.wordpress.com. U.S. Congress Joint Economic Committee, Understanding the Economy, State-by-State Snapshots. You can look up economic information on every state in the United States. jec.senate.gov. jec.senate.gov/public/index.cfm. house.gov/jec. en.wikipedia.org/wiki/United_States_Congress_Joint_Economic_Committee. gpoaccess.gov/congress/joint/economic/index.html. gpoaccess.gov/indicators/index.html.